Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, ni hao, willkommen, bienvenue, wherever you are. Welcome to Vernon Hills here in Illinois for the $30,000 PSA LifeTime Grand Prix tournament. And this evening we have 4 entertaining last 16 matches, the first of which you see the players on court. And on your right, our number 1 seed, the amazing Ryan Cuskelly, currently ranked number 19 in the world, highest ever, 12. He's 32 years old, joined the PSA in 2006. He's won 276 matches, lost 199, retired 4 times, and he's played 25 finals. His coach, former world champion Rod Martin. And against him this afternoon, we have somebody from a different department of the game, the very talented Czech, and that is Martin Svek. He's currently ranked 109. His highest was 101, and he's won 87 matches, lost 80, and he's only retired once. He's 24 years old, and he joined the PSA in 2011. In his first round match to qualify, he beat the Belgian Juri Hapers, and that was a 40-minute match. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of resistance that Martin can put up against this incredible powerhouse from Australia, Ryan Cuskelly. As those of you that follow PSA squash regularly will know, LifeTime has made a real commitment to PSA tournaments, and this is just another one in their Grand Prix series as they continue building the sport in their multiple venues around the United States. Very grateful to Danielle and Andre Maurer, the leaders in the LifeTime organization of squash, who have really made such a great commitment, and of course to the many sponsors who we've been lucky enough to attract to the sport. The 2 leading sponsors you may be able to see on your screen, Walker Dunlop and the Hussein family, and we have some supporting sponsors, the Litowitz Family Foundation and Victory Park. So thank you very much indeed to them. Had the privilege of watching Ryan Cuskelly warming up this afternoon, and it's nice to watch some of the skills that he's developed over the years. You'll see on this particular court we have a glass sidewall which can present some problems with depth perception from time to time, and it was really interesting watching Ryan deal with very tight balls. He has the ability to bring his racket against the sidewall with very clever timing to put some side spin on the ball to keep the ball tight, and I think you'll see that this afternoon. There is in fact Danielle Maurer on the court with the players. Husband Andre, well known to many people outside the court today. A little bit of a cold, so we may not see too much of him. So the players are just going to do their final preparations, and we'll get the match underway very shortly. In case I didn't say it, this is Richard Millman. I'm here commentating the rest of the tournament. Really excited to be here and hoping to share a few insights of the game with you as we go along.
Love all, Martin to serve.
No.
Early error there.
One love.
Okay.
Pressure from Ryan Cascali. He will want to really stamp his imprint on this game immediately.
Ball. One love.
Interesting to note, if you see as Ryan gets back into position, he's absolutely on his toes. Martin perhaps a little more on his heels when he's moving up. Beautiful cut of the ball in there to the front corner. Little slice on the ball, making it cut into the wall. Classic racket preparation here from Ryan. He gets the ball, or gets the racket up so early. There it is.
3 love.
So difficult for Martin at this point. You know, he's got to stick in the rally, but he knows how severe the attack from Cascali is going to be. At this point in time, he's really got to avoid trying to play short too early. He's got to put some pressure on. He's got to find a way of moving Ryan around the court. Loose ball like that just offers too many opportunities to Cascali. And the early racket prep allowing Cascali to hold the ball for a long time, and then the suddenness of the explosive strike of the ball just denies any reaction time to his opponent.
Okay.
Martin just hurt himself a little bit, and he seems okay. Another unforced error there, and this is the point at which, if he's going to establish himself in this match, Svek really has to be patient. Nice little slice on the backhand there from the left-hander Svek. But again, we can see just the urgency and the intensity of the attack from Cascali. Relentless pressure.
Right. Yeah. Turn it. Right side.
Not entirely sure that I agree with that refereeing decision, but there we go. There, another unforced error.
6-1.
Of course, it's tough when you're playing against a world-class player. You feel pressurized even before you struck the ball. But this is the test of young players coming through.
Ball. 6-1.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think really it was a generous let there. You can see here also Koskelly's targeting is very good. By targeting, I don't just mean to the front of the court,
7-1.
but he's picking spots on the side wall, picking spots behind the service box, on the back of the service box that bounce a very difficult to retrieve second bounce length. There's a certain tentativeness there from the
7-1.
backhand drop shot,
right.
but fortunately Ryan played a rare loose ball and Svek was able to capitalize on that. A little touch interchange there. You see Svek using the tip of the racket to try and get the fingers to really feather the ball home there. And again, great racket prep and suddenness on that execution of the volleys. And it really does pressurize the opponent because it gives them such little reaction time. So frustration coming through there, once again making the unforced error instead of staying in the rally. So at the moment the barrage is really leading to either an unforced error or a loose position for Martin. Doing a little bit of there, moving Ryan around the court, which is I think what he needs to do without making errors.
That ball, 8-2 from the left.
Ryan perhaps not that impressed with the decision there, but there you go. Again, I'm really noticing just how much Koskelly is on his toes when he's waiting for his opponent to play the next shot. So he's activated and really the motor is running. Whereas with Svek, I feel as though, you know, the motor sort of turns off and it has to be switched back on before he can get going again. See his heels more on the floor than Koskelly when he's getting ready for Koskelly to hit his next shot. Beautiful little cut in there, slicing it home. Perfect
9-2.
Bisecting of that angle so that he's absolutely perpendicular to where he wanted the ball to go. And that's, you know, a testament to the training and the wonderful fundamentals taught by Rodney Martin. He himself had wonderful fundamentals, and it's a real trademark of the players that he trains. That word fundamentals that I'll use a lot, what I'm really talking about is the simple, solid, basic construction of both movement and striking. The most simple shots, the easiest shots, players are approaching and setting up at 90 degrees to where they want to hit the ball, square if you like, to the line they want the ball to take. Easy to say, but much less easy to, in a disciplined fashion, really stick to that training. Takes hours and hours and hours and hours of repetition. And you can see Cuskelly, if he doesn't get his 90 degrees, he's very dissatisfied. He doesn't feel like he's done the job right.
Game. First game.
So there we
Ryan
go. There's the
Cuskelly.
first game. Pretty relentless pressure. A couple of unforced errors from Ryan Cuskelly, but in the main, just the severity of the onslaught, a little bit too much for Martin Svek, who was unable to match that severity and stick with it. He needed to really live through a few purple patches from Ryan Cuskelly and ask some questions himself of Cuskelly. But 11-3, and unless Svek really can stick into some longer rallies and change the story, I think it's going to be a similar story in game 2. Interesting watching some of the replays here. Very noticeable that when Cuskelly is up forwards in the middle of the court and he's looking back for the opponent's next shot, every fibre in his being is connected to the ball, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's his primary focus. His peripheral awareness, of course, his knowledge of where he is on the court, what his options are, what the defense required is, are all obviously at a high level. But the thing is, because Ryan's primary focus is towards the ball, he doesn't lose any time. He's continuously engaged. Anyway, here we go for the second game. If you get a chance, just have a look at Martin Svek's heels when he gets up onto what people call the tee, and watch Ryan's feet, and you'll see the heels are off the floor.
Love all.
There's the unforced error, I'm afraid. It was a good opportunity, but trying to make it do too much.
One love.
Severe attacks.
Two love.
And very nice short arm flick. And when you only use the lower half of the arm and the wrist, you create even more speed and suddenness and less reaction time. Well, it's a nice tight ball there from Martin Svek, but you see Cuskelly going in with the tip of the racket, trying to play that little top and side spin. It didn't work that time, but it is a real skill that he has.
And now 3-1.
Again, that suddenness catching Martin Svek out. Nice movement off the ball by Cuskelly. Before the ball even got to the front wall on his drop shot, he was waiting for the next ball. And here again, he's waiting. Interesting to actually watch one player and compare when they're waiting for their opponent's next shot as to when the opponent actually hits it. If they're waiting for the opponent to hit the next shot, they're ahead of the game.
Right.
If they're only just recovering at the same time, or if they haven't recovered, then obviously they're behind the game. So, you know,
Throw.
difficult
5-1.
situation there. You see
He was right behind
Svek
you.
injected pace,
I know, but he was right
but he,
behind you.
by
5-1.
injecting pace, he denied himself time, and Kaskeli's little boast then put him under pressure. So in the end, he lost out to the pressure that he injected himself. Uncharacteristic
And now,
unforced error
2-5.
there from Kaskeli. Again, Svek just hanging back a little further than I'd like to see him hanging back, and a little more on his heels than I'd like. There again, light toes, Kaskeli. Good rally this though, and nice to see the Czech player hanging on for longer, trying to make a bit of an argument out of the situation instead of capitulating. Both players really trying to soften each other up, moving each other around the court. So lovely tight little drop volley here, and the late preparation there by Svek meant that his mind was not quick to assess how to play it, and he made the error.
You can choose. Hand out.
If his prep had been up earlier, he would have had longer to assess it and probably wouldn't have made the error. And that just shows you why people like Rodney Martin put so much time and effort into really good fundamentals. Beautiful preparation there. You saw it, classic from Kaskeli. And great style, of course, is great technique.
6-2.
That's why we all love the most stylish sportsmen and women, because their technique is so strong. You think about the great golfers, the great tennis players, and the great squash players. The poetry of what they do is all founded on wonderful, fundamental, basic skills that have been developed and worked on for thousands of hours of solid practice. Love that sharpness on that volley. It was a very good retrieve there from Svek, because the ball was tight and he managed to keep it tight down the wall.
And out.
But once again, at a vital time where he needed to stay in, he makes the unforced error.
Thank you. 8-3.
Nice little trickle boast. The trickle boast, a shot that hits the side wall very close to the front wall and runs around side wall, front wall quickly. So Kaskeli looking a little more confident here and giving voice to the full range of his shots. And again,
9-3.
the unforced error.
From the left.
Sometimes players feel that they have to do something extra special to play against a world-class player, and they start trying to hit shots that the other guy can't get back. When in fact all that does is put pressure on themselves. It's much more important to play a shot that's difficult for the other guy to get back rather than impossible. Now, I don't
And
feel
out,
that was an
4-9.
attempt to play a shot that he couldn't get back. That was just a moment of loss of concentration.
All right.
Just a little contact there
That ball.
on
4-9.
Kaskelly from Svek's racket. So they're going to play the point again.
That ball. 4-9.
Now you see here Svek standing on that ball quite a long time after he'd finished the shot, not moving off as quickly as he should. He'll have to be careful there. He'll get strokes against him for blocking. So just a couple of moments of loss of concentration. You know, Kaskelly, you know, perhaps not having the patience to finish the job off and sort of being a little bit slack on getting the job done properly. But I'm sure that he'll immediately come back to full concentration.
And out.
Great athleticism there. Wow. Cutting it in, the overhead, almost like a world-class tennis serve, hitting that top and cut. And immediately we see pressure applied by Kaskelly, taking his Czech opponent all around the court, and in the end it's just a little bit too much for Svek. We had one really good rally in there where Svek stuck with it for a long time, and I'm sure right now he's disappointed in himself and realizes that he has got to stay in these rallies and not make Kaskelly's life easy by making the unforced error. Kaskelly, on the converse, will be wanting to make sure that he doesn't have any more lapses in concentration, because this game isn't just about this match. This particular round in this LifeTime $30,000 tournament is part of the entire tournament, and if he drops his focus at all for a moment here, his next round will suffer. So sharpness required to win tournaments all the way through. That's why a player like Kaskelly has to be absolutely severe throughout the tournament. So to love, Ryan Kaskelly, apart from a couple of little unforced errors, looking rampant.
Seconds.
Other than the 4 matches that we have on the live stream court tonight, we also have 4 other matches, and we will not be seeing this evening Shah Jahan Khan, the number 8 seed, against Juan Camilo Vargas. We will not be seeing Arturo Salazar, one of the great Mexican twins, against Jamie Haycox. We will not be seeing Mario Yanez, also from Mexico, against Vikram Malhotra. And we will not be seeing, unfortunately this evening, 2 of my friends and wonderful USA stars, Faraz Khan and Chris Hansen. But we will bring you some results when we get them of those matches. But back to the present, and here we go again. 2-love to Ryan Kaskelly. So good start there by Svek. A little bit more spring in his step. And I actually thought Koskelly was pretty good to start off with. So obviously Svek stepping up a little bit at the beginning of this third game. So if I was advising Svek as to what to work on going forwards, I'd be certainly looking at working on the fluency of his movement and on the way he poises himself when he's waiting for his opponent's next shot. I think his racket work is very good, and I think he's got quite a nice little range of shots. The other thing, of course, is he just needs to work on that mental and physical fitness that will allow him to stay in rallies for the sort of period of time that a player like Koskelly is comfortable playing. As we watch this, we'll see peaks and troughs as pressure goes up and down in the rally. And a player like Svek is more than happy to live through perhaps 7, 8 peaks and troughs in a rally, whereas Koskelly will be happy to live through 15, 20 of those same peaks and troughs. And that's the problem for a up-and-coming player. They have to be able to live through the good and the bad of even one rally for much longer. Nice attack there from Svek. And he's got some nice touch. He uses his fingers well on the backhand side. Floats the ball. So a little tardy on the recovery there from Koskelly, and he sort of gives the point up. But credit to Svek for having twisted and turned him around. Nice tightness on the sidewall there. Oh, beautiful deft fingers there from Koskelly. So took all the air out of that drop shot and really gave Svek nothing to hit. Svek would have needed really good footwork to get around and keep that ball tight, and he just wasn't able to do so under pressure. Beautiful watching Koskelly's snap forehand, and by snap forehand I mean the sudden short arm delivery.
And out 3-all.
That's a nice little hold there, a little science and art mixed in together from Svek. So 3-all, a better start to this third game. Beautiful cross-court cut straight into the neck there. Under pressure here, Svek. Koskelly really moving him around the court early, taking the oxygen out of him. But again, Koskelly goes short a little bit early, and a beautiful, deft cross-court floated drop shot into the forehand nick. So resistance in evidence here from Svek, and if he can stay with it, well, unfortunately not.
Played it. It's not like you played it.
So a little discussion about whether or not on the turn Martin Svek
you played it.
asked for a let legitimately, he's claiming that he hit the ball against the sidewall to demonstrate that he couldn't play it because Koskelly was in the way. And the referee feels as though he actually hit the ball. It's a little bit of naivete, perhaps, and inexperience. Looks like they are going to elect to play a let. I suspect that Koskelly has been happy to let that happen. Yeah, there's a little bit of sportsmanship coming in here from Ryan Koskelly. Not sure that he should be doing that.
Left ball. Still left ball.
So he's held up here. You can see from that angle that he would have been pretty close to hitting Svek if he'd gone
from
to
the
that front left corner, but let is the decision.
And
So
now
there's a little bit of contact there, but to be honest, Svek's ball was loose. Koskelly did nothing wrong, so the onus was on Svek to go and get the ball.
5-4.
So key moments here for Svek if he's going to extend this match. He's got to be tough here and not break down. And equally,
All that. And out. 5-all.
Koskelly, you know, considering his interest in the rest of the tournament, has got to be harsh, and he's got to hit the final nails into the coffin here. Otherwise, Svek's going to come out to haunt him. Nice little soft steer there from Svek, and a very, very rare example of Koskelly's technique,
6-5.
letting him down. You saw him not get his shoulders square to where he wanted to hit the ball. Very rare. There, on the other hand, beautifully set up, 90 degrees to where he wanted to hit it. A little bit of a speculative ball to the front of the court by Svek. Risky. He's got to keep Koskelly tied up if he wants to stay in this match. He can't be trying to give him balls at the front of the court, hoping to win.
And out. 6-all.
Counterattacks coming back to hurt him. At 6-all, it's very tight. Somebody needs to push hard here to make the difference. So now it's interesting to see Koskelly floating the ball a little bit more, not like he was in the first game where he was really setting up that barrage of power.
7-6.
He's floating the ball in a little bit more, but you know, Koskelly pretty confident that Svek, you know, withstanding the charge here much better than he has at any stage in the match hitherto. Beautiful movement off the ball there from Koskelly. Good retrieve by Svek though. Loose ball from Koskelly. Another loose ball from Svek. Got to keep the ball on the sidewall if you're going to keep Ryan Koskelly tied up. Yeah, so it's good. Extended rally in the end.
8-6.
Just a little bit more than Martin Svek was ready to cope with. So a little daylight here, and unless Svek can really come back into playing a longer rally, keeping Koskelly under pressure, or if Koskelly makes a thoughtless, unforced error, I think Svek's in trouble here.
And And now 7-8.
See, interesting. Svek did a full turn there, which is a little scary, and you know we try and stop juniors from doing that. But in the pro game, because we know they can control where the ball goes, it's a part of the game. Some players do it more, some players do it less. It's a little bit of a doubtful moment, but it worked out that time. 7-8. Look at the width and length
Now
here.
9-7.
Right in the sidewall nick. There's a target that I'm sure he's practiced many, many, many times until he can hit it pretty consistently. Great little touch, just reaching in there and leaving nothing on the ball,
10-7,
nothing
match ball.
to hit at all. So here we are, match ball. A brave effort by Martin Svek in this third game, but Kaskelly on the verge of making it through to the next round. And there,
11-7. Game, set, match.
punctuating the
to Ryan
match with one of the issues of the match, the unforced error. So anyway, congratulations to Ryan Kelly, or Kaskelly, and bad luck to Martin Svek. Ryan now moves on to the quarterfinals, and Martin, I'm sure, will have learnt much from that experience playing a world-class player like Kaskelly, and hopefully he'll go away and work on his fitness, his mental stamina, and I would advise him to work on his movement and agility as well. So back soon for the next match, and the next match that we've got coming up is, I believe, the number 3 seed, and that is Campbell Grayson of New Zealand. Good day to New Zealanders that are watching. And Mike McHugh from up the road in Canada. And hope we've got a good Canadian audience watching the up-and-coming Mike McHugh. Back soon. That's a 6 o'clock match.